Hi, everybody. It's meteorologist Joe Chaffee. As we head into Friday and the weekend, we are going to be in the midst of a heat wave. Now, it's going to be 3 days for most areas. Some days it will be 4 because there were a few areas in New Jersey and the Hudson Valley that hit 90 degrees on Thursday. Now, the thing that I want to focus on is whether we'll get some thunderstorms tomorrow evening as a weather front comes through, plus with all the daytime heating and temperatures climbing up to the middle 90s in some places, there should be enough energy in the atmosphere for some thunderstorms to develop. Now, I'm going to use the NAM4 model because that seems to have been working well lately, and well is relatively speaking, by the way. None of the models have been handling these thunderstorms well at all, but as we go through the day, it appears that there are a couple of areas to worry about. Now, the first one is tomorrow evening, and you can see there's a cell here in northern New Jersey that forms, and there's some broken cells up further north in upstate New York, up the Hudson Valley, and into Massachusetts, and even a couple of stray cells probably in Connecticut. And that area will move through here tomorrow evening between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. That doesn't look to be a big deal, but because of the timing of the weather front and the fact that we're going to see our winds go westerly at some point tomorrow evening, so that's going to cut the marine layer off for Long Island and for coastal Connecticut. So with this kind of northeast southwest front moving through as opposed to one that comes through from the west, this one's actually dropping down from the northwest. The NAM develops some thunderstorms tomorrow night, and you can see them here along coastal Connecticut, and then it brings them into Long Island Sound, gets a few of these cells quite strong, and then moves them across Suffolk County and then out. So that second line is the one I think that the Storm Prediction Center was focused on when they had this slight risk of severe weather yesterday showing up for the Hudson Valley and for eastern Long Island. They have since reduced that to a marginal risk and have pushed the severe weather risk a little further east. We'll see what it does later on today, what they do in terms of the forecast. But then once that goes through, we're going to have northwest winds here on Saturday. Actually, a little bit of drier air is going to come down in, so that might lower the humidity just a little bit. And temperatures will be well up into the 90s. Somebody in New Jersey wouldn't be surprised if it gets to 100 degrees. And then as we go through Sunday, I think we're going to take the temperatures down a couple of degrees. They'll still get into the 90s, but they may not make it to that extreme. Maybe it'll be more on the line of 90 to 95. You see these northerly isobars here, so the wind may be a little more northwest for a little while on Sunday at least. And then the big question for Monday, and I'm going to have to switch off to the NAM 12-kilometer model. The big issue for Monday is that we have another front approaching for Monday, and winds are going to turn more southwest or south ahead of it, and some showers are being generated here around Monday morning. So what might hold temperatures down on Monday will be clouds and the threat for some perhaps some showers and thunderstorms. They might be a bit more numerous in nature. So Monday's kind of tricky in terms of the forecast. If this winds up being pinned back a little bit, then temperatures will go higher and go into the 90s again. But if we have to start fighting clouds and some onshore wind issues, then that may hold the temperatures down to the 80s to some lower 90s. So let's see how that plays out. In the meantime, just a word of caution. If you're headed for the beaches for Long Island tomorrow, there is a high risk of rip currents developing during the afternoon. So bear that in mind. That could be very dangerous for swimming. And also the fact that Saturday, with that northwest wind, there will probably not be a sea breeze, so it will be pretty brutal on the beaches. It may be just as hot at the beaches as it would be inland. You'll be sitting there baking in 95-degree temperatures on the sand, so I guess the only way to cool off is to actually go into the ocean. So enjoy your Friday. Just keep an ear out for any developments as far as severe weather goes, and this weekend's probably going to be the hottest weekend of the summer so far.